I moved from New Cross Road to Sweet Home Farm in 2002 when I bought myself a two-room shack that I shared with my younger sister. One rainy winter day, when I was coming from Cape College, I came home to a horrible situation. I found my bedroom full of water. My shoes and clothes were soaked in water. Even my blankets were wet. The situation was terrible. That was a shock of my life. I was angry and disappointed. I thought to myself, how can the owner of the shack rob me by selling me a house that leaks from the floor? How can the community leaders allow her? I just ran out to the community leader. Suddenly, I was ashamed of myself to find out that my neighbors were in a worse situation than me. Their houses were also flooded. Their children were soaked in cold water. They were hungry, crying, shivering with cold. I felt sorry for them and realized that my situation was better. I saved the children by taking them to my house. At least my sitting room was not affected. I prepared food for them and made fire to make them stay warm. I did this because I liked to help others. After feeding and keeping the children warm, I went out again to look for the community leaders. They were busy taking some names down of the ones that were affected. The plan was to build houses on a higher ground in an open space left by some resident who moved to Mfuleni. I waited 6 months before I could find a better place. Getting the place to rebuild was not easy because the community leaders tried to rob us. They had reserved the land for rebuilding their favorite people, and also they were selling better places to the outsiders for their gains, while the residents of Sweetwem Farm were in a flooded, green, stinky water. I was angry and I confronted them. Why are you keeping safer places and not give them to us? They could not give us straight answer. They were running around. We insisted on getting answers. Only after the confrontation, they gave us the land and the people were happy. My family came to help me to build a new place on a higher ground. We made a solid concrete foundation with the bricks and built another shack. In the community, everyone was busy rebuilding their shack. We worked very hard fetching building material, pushing wheelbarrows and other building tools. We were all tired and miserable because of the hard work. My place was nice, warm and safe from flooding. I was so happy to have a new, better home. Even my neighbors were so happy with their homes. I no longer have water coming from the ground. I must only deal with the ones that coming from the roof by using a silicone. There is no water that is getting inside. It's only when I step out of my house when I reach the water. Even though I managed to get some help with my flooding situation, Others are still struggling with flooding in Sweet Home Farm. That's when the community recognized me that I was fit to be a leader. They appointed me as the community leader. And I started allocating safer places to the people who are experiencing flooding.